Hey, man, Josh from Sell Comics. Yeah.
Your new
Hi.
multi-vendor marketplace, YouSellComics.com, offers a site exclusively for buying and selling of all things comics. Slabs, omnis, trades, and more. Sell for as low as 5% commission or 0 commission monthly tiers. Run your own auctions, unlimited bin listings. YouSellComics.com. Buy, collect, sell.
Okay. Marvel
Woo.
news of the week. Marvel's new Carnage comic is scarier than the publisher thought, and it's now warning retailers.
That's tight.
Retailers have been advised that Carnage are no longer suitable for preteens.
Sick.
Looks like Spider-Man isn't the only character so spooky that Marvel has had to up the age rating on a comic before it arrives in stores. Just weeks after the spine-tingling Spider-Man #1 jumped from a T rating to prevent parental advisory notice, the same fate has befallen one of his villains. Notifications sent to comic book stores Thursday advised that the first two issues of the upcoming Carnage series by Turin Gronbeck and Perry Perez will now carry parental advisory ratings as opposed to the T plus teens and up rating that were initially announced.
Crazy.
Given that the horror theme spine-tingling Spider-Man issue has already gone through a similar reevaluation, it's not surprising that the age rating for Carnage, a series centering around a psychopathic killer that teased its first issue as being shocking and unexpected, is being upped. In fact, all things considered, it might actually have been more harmful for its target audience if it hadn't been. After all, imagine a world in which Spider-Man, of all people, had turned out to be scarier than one of Venom's more creepy offspring. Even better, Carnage fans can now spend the next few weeks between now and the release of Carnage #1 on November 15th, if you're curious, working out just what happens in the comic to make the age rating change, just how bad, and by which I mean gory it might be. Take a look at the
Yeah.
main cover, which is right here. Give you a little full screen. This actually kind of brings up a good point of Marvel kind of riding that line of teen and below.
Hmm.
I picked up Garth Ennis did a run of Thor, of the Max version back in 2003.
Mm.
And Max used to be an imprint for all their like more adult stuff, Punisher, especially anything Garth Ennis did.
Yep.
And it's bloody. And Thor goes against some undead kind of old Vikings who were cursed, and they show up in New York and they just start lopping heads off, like impaling random people on the street, causing mayhem. Like there's blood and guts and heads flying in the comic, and I kind of wish that there was maybe an imprint that the imprint would come back and do more adult stuff, and maybe with this Carnage, if it does well for being parental advisory, maybe they can do that. And you know what? With Deadpool now being rated R coming to the MCU, maybe they can actually make that a rated R universe, like we said before, with Blade and other more adult versions of characters. Maybe Ghost Rider could be
Yeah.
Ghost Rider, and Werewolf by Night could definitely be a much more horror oriented, scary kind of thing. Maybe Lilith and the
That whole
Midnight
thing better
Suns.
still be in the works.
Yeah,
or
right.
I'm
Like,
gonna plots,
let's
dude.
let's get some adult stuff going. I know the DC universe is mostly about trying to ride that line between PG-13 and R, but I think Marvel could and would be it would be an advantage to kind of go after that market too.
Absolutely.
Okay. Star Wars Rebels 10th anniversary variants are coming.
Ooh, couple of decent ones. Oh yeah,
The Ahsoka finale was last night. I know you haven't watched it.
I did.
Oh, you did watch it. Okay, well, we'll try to
So,
do. Did you like the season or did not like the season?
I liked it. Um,
Did you like the ending? People have a problem with the ending, apparently.
I'm so on the ending.
Um,
Like, it was okay. It was acceptable, and
what
I
didn't you like
guess
about the ending?
I wish there was more.
Lightsabers?
No, because you know what? We actually got a lot of lightsabers.
Yes, we did.
We got a lot of lightsabers.
it almost felt like we didn't have many meat and potatoes in the pot. It felt like a lot of soup.
Well, there's no storylines being tied up.
Well, there's that. That there's no storylines being tied up. I was talking about this last week about how with rewind 25 years ago,
To the
TV
prequels.
shows, sure,
Okay. Yeah.
but whenever.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about,
yeah.
when people are considering like the golden age of movies and television, before 2005.
Pre-Sopranos.
Sure.
Okay.
So Sopranos or before.
Okay.
For all the movies that we consider, top shelf, whether or not it's Alien or whatever, I'm going way out there.
Yeah.
But or whether it was TV shows, more recent than not, because TV shows back in the 70s, 80s were so. But I feel like the ones in the 80s and late 80s, 90s, and obviously early 2000s were quite good. When you were making those things, those properties, those whatever, I feel like you, as an actor, spent more time, let alone creating that character, getting into that character, but you spent more time on set and or on location with those other actors in the movie. Or TV show. You spent more time with them. You gained relationships with them. You are able to work out, what works best. Oh, cat feeding.
Are you talking about chemistry?
Come get it. Mostly chemistry, but also the amount of time that the actors and actresses had to work with to be able to give us a performance with a character, and or between characters. I just feel like it's different, man. I feel like it's different now. You come on a set and, there's screens everywhere, you guys are in a desert and okay, let's get ready. Let's go. Well, 15 years ago, you would spend an extra 3 or 4 days traversing out to the desert with all these actors, right? And then you're like, okay, now you're on. And it's like, okay, well, we just spent 2 days getting here and we're all here now. So, we know each other, whatever. But instead, it's come in and shoot for less than a week. Like, let's be real, right?
Yeah.
Like they probably prepped them for a week. They shot for a week and then the rest of it is just post. So I enjoyed seeing all these characters in real life, and a lot of cool stuff happened. And they delved into the lore a little bit, which was great. I would have killed for more of that. But I feel like when there was really more than one person on screen, all that chemistry and meat and potatoes that we used to get is kind of lost. So the woman who played the Night Sister who got the powers, what's her name? Rebecca something? No. Shit.
So you mean Elsbeth?
Is that yeah, sorry. Yes. The one who
Bruce Lee's granddaughter?
Is that who it is?
Yes.
Oh man, no way. I had no idea. That's crazy.
She was Thrawn's right-hand person.
Right.
Yeah.
So, she did a good job, with her character or whatever, but I felt like,
granddaughter, it's got to be granddaughter, not daughter.
It's definitely granddaughter.
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of, a little bit whatever.
Giving her the power?
No, not giving her the power, just like the acting with the chemistry again with other.
Listen, that lead Night Sister was Claudia Black. She's amazing.
She was sick. She did so good, dude. I thought the Night Sisters were all really good.
Yeah. Wait. So if I go through all these characters and you're like they were good, and then how does your argument hold up? Like, Lars Mikkelsen was great as Thrawn, yes.
Correct.
Okay, Rosario Dawson killed it as Ahsoka.
Yeah, but I also feel like there was.
I think for me personally, the weak link was Sabine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ezra Bridger, whoever, I forget the name of the actor for Ezra Bridger, he was great. I think he nailed what an adult Ezra Bridger would be like. I think Sabine
I thought so too.
was kind of the weak link in that trio.
Hmm.
I'm not.
Again, I just feel like it's just unfortunately not enough time in the pot.
Is that
they don't?
But is that from coming from a perspective you didn't watch Rebels, or
I mean,
the whole
no,
thing, or
unfortunately I didn't watch Rebels. No, like I did. I watched some of it. Like I didn't finish it. I watched all the way up to the last episode of the last season of Clone Wars.
That might be part of the problem, is that the people who watched Rebels all the way through, they've already spent a ton of time with these characters and immediately get what the dynamic is. But
sure,
for people
of
who
course.
they don't get the little Easter eggs, the Kanan stuff, the et cetera, right? So maybe for an audience who hasn't seen that stuff, it is thin because they're not going into a lot of character stuff, because we've already seen that in Rebels for 5 seasons. So
I watched like a catch up thing, right? And about both or whatever, and like everything that happened, the history was in my mind. I was there. Things that were mentioned, characters that were mentioned, obviously that weren't in there or whatever. It brings it back, and it's just the same thing that I said about Kenobi or literally any of the shows that Star Wars have done, except for Andor. Andor was perfection.
Don't forget Mando season 2.
Well, I would say Mando season 1 and 2 were very good. They were very good. I feel though like the meat and potatoes in those shows were a lot of individual silent acting, where things were built up over the course of imagery and feeling and whatever, because there wasn't a lot of dialogue with the Mandalorian and Grogu, obviously, or whatever. It was more along the lines of the feelings that you get from those, and I definitely got it with the show. It just, again, feels like it's the planning's there and whatever. It's just not I don't know, I guess you can say fully cooked. Like, it's coming out
Well,
3/4 baked.
Keep in mind that this is a means to an end of the movie to tie everything up.
That's what they're trying. Yeah, and that's what I'm assuming that's going to be the thing, right? Like, that's the rumor right now, is that with the movie being announced and everything, they're going to pretty much say they're going to bring in everybody from the shows into the movie.
Yeah, like,
and that's going to be the
Thrawn is the big bad. He'll get defeated at the movie, presumably. And you'll have Mando, and you'll have Bo-Katan, and you'll have maybe Ahsoka, and Sabine, if they figure out how to get out of that galaxy. The sad part for me is they're gonna have to recast Balin, because they can't they can't finish that story of him with the 3 gods and the
It's got to happen. Like, I think if anything, anybody that knows any lore, I guess, regarding the Star Wars thing, we really want to. Can you guys not
get him, Kitty? Get him.
Trying to record a video here, guys.
Get him.
Anyway, I think if anything, that's the biggest information that I want to know of, is what's going on with that story arc, and I think that's what's hooked a lot of people. And unfortunately, they're gonna have to fucking recast him, which is just goddamn awful. I saw someone recommend Clive Owen though as a replacement. I was kind of like, oh, damn, that's kind of.
It's close in look. I'm not sure he's as tall or as in foreboding as Reese.
He could be foreboding.
Well,
Definitely as
Ray,
good as an
Ray
actor, I
has
feel.
he's like wide shouldered and has like a presence, right? I'm not sure Clive Owen has that same presence, but it's not a bad choice. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'll cut this out and make it its own Ahsoka review, but so we'll get back to the variants here.
We got a little crazy. Sorry, everybody. So sorry.
Okay, so Star Wars Rebels 10th anniversary variants to cover Marvel Comics. Once a Rebel, always a Rebel. In the honor of 10th anniversary Star Wars Rebels, the fan favorite animated series set between the events of Episode 3 and Episode 4, Marvel Comics will release 8 new variant covers celebrating a decade of the Spectre's crew. Rolling out in January 2024, the Rebels 10th anniversary cover will cover a series will adorn issues of Marvel Star Wars Darth Vader, Dr. Aphra, and Star Wars Age of Rebellion. Oh, Age of Rebellion must be a new one. It's weird that Bounty Hunters isn't in there. Okay. The lineup features former Jedi Knight turned Rebel spy Ahsoka Tano, Kanan Jarrus, the Ghost Crew, Zeb, Hera, Jedi Apprentice Edge Bridger, Chopper, Sabine Wren, Agent Callus, former Imperial who joined the Rebel as an informant, Grand Inquisitor, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. Quote, it's such an honor to be involved in the 10th anniversary of Rebels, having recently revisited the adventures of the Spectres in preparation for Ahsoka. This opportunity was perfect timing. Wynyard told StarWars.com. The series bringing members of the Ghost Crew to live action. We've been absolutely spoiled with Rebels content these last few weeks, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So we get some starting in January 2024. It's 2 issues a month. There's the one for Ahsoka, Zeb and Kanan, Hera, Ezra and Chopper, Sabine, Agent Callus, Grand Inquisitor, and Thrawn. Sweet.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. I think I would buy all of those except... Well, no, I'll probably buy all of them. Because I'm an idiot. Okay. Next one. Marvel Comics reveals a new look at Ultimate Universe #1 and its roster of Avengers. Ultimate Invasion, the new one from Hickman, just came to close on Ultimate Invasion #4, which I have yet to read. It's on my pile there. The new Ultimate Universe was introduced in the early 2000s and put a contemporary spin on characters like Spider-Man, the X-Men, and Avengers. Much of what we saw in the comics inspired the MCU, but the line eventually fell apart. Marvel Comics previously announced that a new Ultimate Universe will spin out of the pages of its Ultimate Invasion series with Hickman and Hitch. Hitch's new universe set to revolutionize the world outside your window. After the makers' a desperate attempt to restore the Ultimate Universe unleashes some massive unintended consequences, a group of Marvel heroes are caught in a war between timelines. As universes collide, the foundation of a new line of Ultimate Comics is built, something we saw in this week's epic finale. I haven't read yet. The second continues in November's Ultimate Universe #1, where Hickman will team up with Stefano Casilli to lay the groundwork for a new line of Ultimate Comics. In the Exercise foundational one-shot, enter a new age of Ultimate storytelling filled with bold takes on iconic Marvel characters, and special previews of the upcoming Ultimate titles, including the recently revealed Ultimate Spider-Man. Quote, what made the Ultimate Universe originally really interesting was that it was a reflection of the world outside your window in the moment that you're living in. What does it look like in the world we're living in now? Hickman says it's kind of shocking how much the world has changed in a period of time. The idea of what it would be like to see the genesis of superheroes in a brand new world is really fascinating exercise. So we get a shot here of, I guess, the first cover.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, here's one of the inside pages. Cap frozen in ice. Doctor Doom, I think.
Yeah.
Thor.
Who's the one in the red?
Sif. Lady Sif. Yeah, so that comes out in November.
Damn.
I haven't read the finale of Ultimate Invasion, but the first 3 were really good. I do like the Maker as a villain. I think he's an interesting villain. Has Marvel Comics just solved the problem with the MCU's Jonathan Majors and the Kang problem? Marvel... Oh, this is spoilers. I don't want to read this. We'll do that next week.
Okay.
Vision Quest update suggests this Disney Plus series could be merged with the Children's Crusade.
Would not be surprised if this happened.
Since Bob Iger's return as Disney CEO, the executive pulled back on spending and the reduced level of content being made for streaming. Bob Chapek went all in on that, hence why this MCU began expanding on television at the rate of knots. Like, you mean the speed of boats? Knots? I don't know.
Okay. Full speed ahead, baby.
The Vision Quest is among the TV shows still thought to be on the way, though with us going from getting half a dozen Disney projects each year to perhaps only one or two, when and where there will be a time to tell the former Avengers story in the multiverse saga. The answer may be combining with another long-rumored MCU project. WandaVision showrunner Jack Shaver no longer has Vision Quest listed on her WGA directory credits.
Yeah.
Though Agatha this guy and his fucking spelling. Agatha Darkhold Diaries remains. While she was set to take charge of the show, other writers have similarly removed it from their pages, leading to speculation of the spin-off about why Vision has been scrapped. It's feasible that Marvel Studios has simply turned to a new creative team, though one reliable scooper has strongly hinted that Vision Quest is being folded into the Children's Crusade. If it follows the comic books, that we'll see Billy and Tommy Maximoff track down their mother, the Scarlet Witch. Considering the fact that Vision is technically their father, you can see how he might be involved, though it's previously been said that Vision Quest will adapt Tom King's Vision series, which saw the android build a family of his own before things went horribly wrong. A brief description release for spin-off reveals that it would revolve around the synthezoid trying to regain his memory and humanity, with Paul Bettany set to reprise his WandaVision role. I thought, who plays Scarlet Witch? What's her name?
Olsen.
I thought
Elizabeth
Olsen. She said it in a couple interviews lately that she's kind of done with the character, or would like to move on. So I don't know. Maybe she's contractually obligated to come back, but
I feel like she's probably contractually obligated to come back, but
maybe looking for more money to renegotiate that contract.
To the extent, I mean,
Chris Hemsworth did the same thing when he needed a new contract. He's like, I don't know that I want to come back, and then they paid him a lot of money, and he came back. So.
Yeah, and then the shocker, and then we got Love and Thunder.
The finale of the series revealed that Vision had been spending time with over the course of the season was actually one of Wanda's constructs, though the real White Vision was rebuilt by Sword. Programmed to track down and kill Scarlet Witch, he flew away to parts unknown at the end of the finale. I don't know. Happy to see more White Vision. I like Paul Bettany as an actor, and Vision's great, so...
Die for more White Vision. But the fact that they didn't completely abandon the show, and they're putting it into another one, merging it in, I feel is our best outcome for this.
It's the only way we're going to see it.
I want it to happen, but do we think we're going to see a 50-50 chance at this point?
Yeah, there's a lot to catch up on in terms of what they were going to do to when they're going to release it. So
yeah.
Okay. Thanks